Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Total Football Talk. And we're going to have a quick look at the Manchester United news that's currently coming out. I mean, at the minute, there's not tons and tons of news. There's little bits here and there about transfers coming up. We'll have a quick look back at the Liverpool game. Finally, there's a bit of pride put back in that jersey, which is absolutely brilliant to see. And a couple of the other stories we'll look at. Marcus Rashford. There's more interest from Italy. There's a chance that Manchester United are looking at a Inter Milan player. He goes by the names of David Frazizi, midfielder number 8. And is this just kind of future planning for Manchester United? We'll kind of look into that and a few of Ruben Amarin's comments. But okay, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for tuning back in. Really, really appreciate it. I'm Keith. I'm the host of this little show. As I said before, I'm growing. You should see my setup. It's a bit of a it's a bit of a makeshift thing at the minute. But if I can grow this channel, hopefully I can grow everything a little bit, equipment, etc. with it. But I do have a new mic today, so hopefully the sound will be a little bit better. It's not perfect, but a little bit better. Okay, let's move on. Finally, Manchester United put a little bit of pride back into that jersey, which was amazing to see. Yes, we didn't win, but the performance from a lot of those, I mean, I think the team turned up as a whole. There was a few little things that we can improve on, but in general, those players put in a shift for Manchester United. They really worked their socks off. They played well in most parts. We went to Anfield and we went toe to toe with probably the best team in England and possibly the best team in Europe, and we went to toe to toe with them and we gave them one hell of a game. And they needed a little bit of luck in terms of the De Ligt handball. I think the rule needs to be looked at, but I do think, in fairness, the way things are at the minute, it is probably a handball. It probably is a penalty. But I do think that, yeah, I mean, his arm's up and maybe it shouldn't be. But, if you're naturally out there trying to defend, I think sometimes that can be a bit difficult to kind of go against the, to have your body kind of move in certain ways. It does hit his hand. It probably is a penalty. And I think if it was the other way around, I'd probably be calling for one. But I think maybe that handball rule needs to be looked at. Is it a case of, there's not much distance between the hand and the ball coming off the player and then hitting De Ligt's hand. And, but yeah, it's one of those things. United played really well. Dalot cooked. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent's looking for a new contract with Liverpool. I mean, I don't think that did him any... Or, sorry, he's not. He's potentially looking for the move to Madrid. Liverpool have offered him a contract. I mean, after that performance, is he worth the contract? Dalot, who's been poor all season, is a right-back by trade, playing on the left wing, cooked him up and down that match pretty much the entire game. I think Trent didn't win any battles, any duels. I think they're talking about when Conor Bradley came on, he actually won one, he won 3 duels in about space of 7 or 8 minutes, and I don't think Trent won any. So yeah, I mean, Liverpool have a lot to think about on that one. Do they want to offer him the contract, and do they want to keep him? But kind of let's come back to Manchester United. Let's look at the performances of a lot of those players. Maguire was at it. De Ligt was at it. I know De Ligt obviously is at fault for maybe the first goal. He slides past Gapco, and he should really just take his time and defend that maybe a little bit better, but it's a great finish. Lisandro Martinez with a Giggs-like-esque finish that Giggs had against Arsenal back in the 1990 FA Cup semi-final. It was a brilliant finish, smashed it in. Great to see Licha getting a goal and getting the confidence up and playing well, because I didn't know if he would come into the team and do as well as he would have, because he's been kind of struggling a little bit on that left side. But fair play, Amarin kept faith in him. He knew what he wanted, did his job, got the goal, and they kind of gradually grew into the game, which was great to see. But I mean, it's just everywhere. I thought Ugarte in midfield was superb. I thought Mainoo alongside him worked very, very well. There was a few misplaced passes, but I think on the whole they were very, very good. Bruno probably had one of his games of the season. Finally, Bruno turns up for a big game. That ball into Leach, that little switch, I think it's absolutely brilliant. I don't think it's talked about enough. Superb pass. And then Lenny Euro coming off the bench for De Ligt. What a tackle that is on the end. Inch perfect. Oh my God, my heart was in my mouth. I thought for a split second he gets this wrong and it's penalty and who knows what else. And Liverpool go on to win the game. But yeah, so guys, we put pride in the performance. We got a result. Much needed one as well, because we just needed to break that that drought of all these consecutive defeats, and now hopefully, but now can they do it? Can they press on? Can they do it in the next game and the next game and the next game? that's the challenge for these players. Getting up for the Cities and the Liverpools is one thing. Getting up for the Bournemouths and sort of the Brentfords and all and kind of teams that are in and around us, maybe, or some of them are above us. Can we do it? Can we do it time and time again? Come on, lads. Let's just keep that fight up, keep the spirit up. Let's try and just move up the league, and let's go and give Arsenal a game at the weekend. Okay, guys, let's move into the news. And there's news coming out that there's more clubs interested. I think this has come from the Italian side in Marcus Rashford. I talked about AC Milan. There's Napoli. There's Juventus. They're all kind of looking at this Marcus Rashford deal. Now, whether it's going to be a full-on sale, I don't know. I don't know whether these teams can negotiate the price, but maybe it'll be a loan to the summer and then a buy and maybe an opportunity to buy him after that. Again, we'll just have to wait and see. But transfer window's open. As I keep saying, come on, let's just try and make something work. If you're going to do it, let's try and get it done as soon as possible. Don't be leaving it to the last goddamn bloody second of the transfer window, because that's not good for any party. But hopefully we're working on things and we can get things to move along nicely and get a couple of players in and get out the players that Ruben Amorim doesn't want out. I mean, it just looks like Rashford is maybe frozen out a little bit. He missed the training because of illness. Was it illness? I don't know. He was ill 3 weeks ago. He's ill again. He missed the game. Don't know. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. He's just and then you look at kind of the complete opposite of Garnacho. Obviously, him and Garnacho were left out for the City game. Garnacho's come back fighting. He came on yesterday and he tried things and he was direct, and obviously he made the goal, which is oddly he didn't get the assist. I don't know why. I think it takes a nick off a Liverpool defender and somehow they claim that's not an assist, but that was Garnacho going against the grain. He normally likes to cut in and try and get a shot away. This time he cut it across, and Ahmad was doing what other good wingers should do, coming in from the far side and just finding that and getting the ball and cutting it into the middle of the goal, which is absolutely brilliant. Delighted for Ahmad. He's having a really, really good season. Had a couple of games where he was slightly off it a little bit, played in different positions in the 10 and on the right side, on the right wing. So yeah, he's still trying to find his place in the team. But again, another very good performance. Fair play to Garnacho, came on, did the business, and I think Ruben Amorim will be very pleased with that because he worked hard, chased back. Defensive side was pretty good. Okay, yeah, a couple of balls went stray, but he's a kid. He's going to make mistakes. Let's just try and praise all the things that are good. But there are other news bits coming out as well. Just talking about matches. None of these players are safe. I don't even think Garnacho, Manu, even the youngsters. I don't think any of these guys are safe at the minute. There's an opportunity that comes along to maybe sell them. I think Manchester United might even look at it. I mean, they Manu maybe probably got a little bit of a higher ceiling than Garnacho. But we'll just have to see if United are going to be ruthless and sell these kids to make profit. Personally, I'd love to see them because they're academy kids, but it'd be nice to see them progress. But I also think if Ruben Amorim thinks that he can bring in players that are better quality or a quality that serves his system better and his tactics better, then we've got to trust the manager. I've seen the positives in previous games, even though we have had some defeats. He kept his shape. He didn't go against the grain. People were calling for him to, go to a back four and, just kind of grind it out toe to toe with Liverpool in their own backyard. And we did it. But it keeps coming back to the same question. Marcus Rashford wasn't part of that squad. He wasn't part of that game. He wasn't part of it at all. So, I think maybe his time is up. And as I said before, a break for all departments, for all parties, will be maybe the best way to go forward. And then just kind of the little bits of news around the Italian midfielder, as I mentioned already, called David Frazzesi. I cannot pronounce his name. Apologies for that. He wears number 16 for Inter Milan. He's a midfielder. He's about 25 years old, 33 million ballpark. He's very technical. He's very athletic. He's very dynamic. And I believe that maybe United are looking for another player to sit alongside Ugarte. I would move Manu further on up the pitch. I'd move him into one of those 10 positions because he used to play as 10 when he was in the younger setup, in the youth setup. I'd move him up there. I think he's got the potential to be absolutely amazing playing there at this stage of his career, and potentially bringing in another midfielder. I know United have looked at Edison. I think everybody's looking at Edison from Atalanta. He's an absolutely brilliant midfielder. Another South American. He had two South Americans sitting alongside each other, him and Ugarte. that midfield would be unbelievable, and that would give us one hell of a springboard to really push on and get in and around and amongst all these other teams. But yeah, so obviously Manchester United are so if we're looking at this lad from Inter Milan, Frazzesi, it would be interesting to see if anything comes from that. 33 million, I think that's for the summer. But what it does show is Manchester United are now looking to the future. The board is looking beyond just the current squad and desperately, instead of desperately bringing players in at the last minute, if they're looking at these players and they're going to bring them in maybe early in the summer and give the whoever it is a chance to have a preseason with Ruben Amorim, I think that'll be much better for everybody moving forward. But at the minute, we're seeing progress on the pitch. We're seeing fight, we're seeing spirit, we're seeing all the things that have been kind of missing in the last few games. I said, I just hope it's not a case of we just get up for Cities and the Liverpools and then we kind of drop off again. I'm pleasantly happy. By no way am I getting carried away. I do not think that this is going to be a case of we're going to get better and better and better. We may get better. It's just how quickly we do it. We ain't going to be fighting for a title anytime soon. As long as we keep seeing progress, he keeps doing what he's doing. Amorim keeps, playing his system, getting these players to work at it. He's had a full week of training now. He'll have another full week before the Arsenal game. We owe Arsenal one for what they did to us in the league. So it'd be nice if we could go there and put in another good performance against the Emirates. Happy days. And then take it from there. But okay, guys, that's your quick wrap up. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Keith. Please give me a like and a subscribe if you're enjoying the content. As I said, I know there's tons of other creators out there doing this, and I'm just trying to find my feet. And yeah, it's going to take. You know what? Kudos to all those other people who are doing it, because this is not an easy job. It's like just talking about football. Talking to the camera, pretty much talking to myself at the minute. But maybe someday I'll be talking to you guys. Maybe there'll be someone out there. Maybe I'll get to a certain point where I can get the opportunity to go live and speak to an audience and we can interact, and I'd absolutely love that. But if you're watching, thank you for joining in, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one.